there, everyone. Cheryl here. How are you doing? How's your weeks going? Anything interesting and exciting happening? Well, here, Nolan's pet mouse escaped from his cage and ran around the house for a few days in the cracks in the wall. And after 2 days, we found him swimming in the toilet. He's back where he belongs now. Anything exciting happening at your guys' houses? Love to hear about it. Feel free to write us a comment. If you're looking for other interesting things, you're in the right place. Because our God stories, the stories we read in the Bible, will never disappoint you. They're full of adventure and excitement. I hope you guys enjoy today's story. And pray that you learn more about how much God loves you. We know that He loves you so much and cares about you each, and so do we. We're thinking of you every week, every day. We're praying for you. Talk to you again soon. Bye.
We are in the middle of a series called The Rock because it's about Jesus, and He is the rock-solid foundation that we build our lives on. Rather than shifting sand, when we follow Jesus, He gives us something firm that will change how we live. Hi friends, I'm Brexy, and today we're talking about an event that is at the same time the worst and the best thing that ever happened. It is very unloving in one way and terribly cruel, and yet it is the most loving thing we could focus on Good Friday, a day where we talk about a lot of sadness and pain, and yet ultimately we know it's good. So here's today's big idea. Jesus' death rocked heaven and earth. Jesus was leading a movement that was starting to catch on. It was spreading. Thousands of people were coming to listen to His teaching. Now, this was an amazing and beautiful movement of love and forgiveness and kindness. But at the same time, a certain group of people did not like it. They were the religious leaders. And the religious leaders of Jesus' day wanted things to stay exactly the way they had always been. So the religious leaders wanted to arrest Jesus, to maybe even get Him killed. Well, they had to figure out where Jesus was going to be late at night when He was by Himself away from the crowds. And in order to do that, they talked to one of His disciples, Judas, who betrayed Jesus for some money. So Judas led the religious leaders and some soldiers to arrest Jesus late at night in the Garden of Gethsemane, where Jesus had gone with His disciples to pray. Now, it was late at night. How would they know which one was Jesus and not one of His disciples? Well, Judas arranged a sign. Judas walked up to Jesus like he was his friend and gave Him a kiss. Maybe a kiss on each cheek. It's the way they would greet each other in that day. But it was a kiss of betrayal. He was showing the soldiers who to arrest, and they took Jesus right away. They took Him to the religious leaders first. Caiaphas was the high priest. But he, of course, said, "I condemn Jesus. I do not want His movement to succeed." And so then they took Him to the Roman leader, the governor, Pilate. They needed his permission. Pilate would be the one to finally order the execution. Pilate interviewed Jesus and said, "But there's nothing wrong with this man. He's a good man." But the people wouldn't listen to Pilate, and now Pilate had a problem. He tried to save Jesus' life in a way that gave them a choice. He said, "Listen, I've got this other terrible criminal here named Barabbas, and I've got Jesus. Who would you really want me to release to you?" Thinking they would choose Jesus. But they shouted, "Barabbas! Barabbas!" So Pilate shouted back, "What do you want me to do with Jesus?" This time they shouted, "Crucify Him! Crucify Him!" Pilate didn't want to revolt, and so even though he knew Jesus was an innocent man, he went ahead and did what the religious leaders were shouting for. He crucified Jesus. Before he did, the Roman soldiers made fun of Him. They mocked Him. They said, "Are you really a king? We'll put a crown on your head, but it'll be a crown of thorns, a crown of pain and suffering. We'll put a robe on you and a royal scepter, which was just a regular stick, and we'll put you on your throne." But His throne was a cross. "We'll even put a sign above your head that says, 'This is Jesus, King of the Jews,' as a way of making fun of Jesus and the Jewish people all at the same time." And when they put Jesus on the cross, something interesting happened. From about noon till 3 in the afternoon, it got really dark. And then out of that that darkness from the cross, Jesus cried out something strange. Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani, which being translated means, my God, why have you forsaken me? Then something happened that has never happened since and had never happened before. Something absolutely amazing. We read about it in Matthew chapter 27, verse 51 and onward. At that moment, the temple curtain was torn in two from top to bottom. The earth shook, the rocks split, tombs broke open, and the bodies of many holy people who had died were raised to life. They came out of the tombs. After Jesus was raised from the dead, they went into the holy city, and they appeared to many people. The Roman commander and those guarding Jesus saw the earthquake and all that had happened, and they were terrified. They exclaimed, "He was surely the Son of God." Did you catch that? There was an earthquake and tombs broke open and people who were dead came back to life. It was like there was this shockwave of pure life that came through the death of Jesus. The blast waves went out and dead people were affected. It's like a promise that all of us can receive the power of new life through Jesus' death. And did you notice the curtain was torn from top to bottom? It's as though God himself is the one doing the tearing to say, now there's no barrier between me and everyone else. You can come in close to my heart and I can come and be where you are. And Jesus is the one who brings us and God together. And that's why Good Friday is really good, even though something really sad happened. This is the day that we saw all of this happen most clearly. This is about the love that absolutely rocked heaven and earth. It's been great talking about Jesus with you. I'm Bruxy. Peace.
Game time! Sticky situation. How many times can you say the keepers before things get sticky? Say it with me. The Lord is my rock and my place of safety. He is the God who saves me. My God is my rock. Psalm 18, verse 2. Get ready. 3, 2, 1, go!